Hello people on the internet. So you guys probably know my manga by now, right? If you haven't, please go watch the other videos. I might link it inside the description. I kind of want to make a playlist of all the videos that I already have done. But that's a project for later. For now, right now, I have pretty much wrote in a whole entire big script on a Word document about pretty much everything that I have planned. So if you don't really want any spoilers about what's going on ahead inside the manga, because I don't have it really drawn out or anything really planned or properly orchestrated to start making art again, I kind of gave up on normal paper arts. Ever since my marker stopped working this one day, I kind of I never really came back to it. I never really wanted to stop making it. I just kind of, once I stopped, I really never came back to it. I found a lot more enjoyment playing Geometry Dash and such, and started streaming, making more videos on that than doing my drawing. I did recently make a chapter 10 video, but I never really came back around to do anymore. And now that I have a actually really good microphone, and not that shitty camera headphone microphone shenanigans going on, I really can't make any more of those videos unless I hook up back the camera and then, I don't know, figure that out. So I'm trying to figure out some things. If you guys want to see more of that, I really don't know, but this is really just going to be some more plot points about what things are going to be happening whenever I get back around to doing it. So if you, I really want to, finish telling the story and not just let it die. So that's what this video is going to be about. And if you don't want any spoilers or anything, go ahead, skip this video, click off already. Yes, but if you do want to know, and if you want to be ahead, please don't spoil it for any other people who actually want to watch my manga evolve and or are willing to wait for me to finish my art and, let me be happy and do other things. Just don't be a dickhead and spread that information around. And I will be telling you at the end of this video how the manga ends. So I'll make that a whole entire little thing. I'm just you should click off the video often if you don't want to get completely spoiled of the ending. It's actually I won't even say anything about it. So that's what this video is going to be about. So anyways, let's get into it. So around where I stopped kind of posting videos, we went to God Valley. That's a really big major plot point. And in between that there is Luke goes to hell. And does some training in there. He fights Yaron, he kills him. He fights Satan, Mega Satan, which is not inside the actual drawings yet, but it will be added onto the final version. I don't think I've actually said this. This has been a really long project. Ever since I would think I moved into Port Orange, Florida. Whenever I moved to Florida, one thing is that I think I said this inside my other explanation video, which you should go check out. Probably link it inside the description. I'll put that down there, and I just wasn't the best, I guess, right then and there, and I made that to cope with my sadness, I guess. So now that I'm happy, I don't really want to make it anymore. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to remind you why I even made this. So this is not the first time I'm remaking this manga and changing up what is going on inside the story. There's always going to be new characters and stuff. And if you other people, manga artists, any other artists, would like to have your own character or original character inside my manga as a side character, as a villain, anything, I would be more than happy to add them into the story. I have plans, but also I need things, I need more story in between all this, because I don't want main plot point, you know. I don't want everything going really fast all at once. Anyways, sorry, my bad. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really care. I would love to be able to add some other plot points inside my manga that are one-off stories or bonus chapters, holiday themed things, or just seeing other people's work inside of my own. Because I don't want to just create one big story. That's a pretty big story. And also, one thing, even though this story is huge, I'm probably planning this, only this manga, that one drop, to be around 300 to 1,200 chapters. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty big. And then there is 4 sequels and 1 prequel to it. So that's about 6 stories that they're not all following Luke, which kind of spoils something. But don't think about it too hard. Anyways, yeah. So there's gonna be sequels. There's gonna be 1 prequel that I already have the story for, and yeah. So that's gonna be happening in the near future after this, which I'm really happy to be able to make, and I already have some stories planned for the future. Anyways, let's move on with the next big plot point. So we were talking about God Valley. That happens between chapter 11 through 13, which I haven't finished chapter 13 yet, but I feel like I have like 10 pages done with it, and then, you know, I stopped. So I'll finish that up sometime soon. But for now, it's just uncompleted, and I'll get back to it whenever I can. So yeah. After that, in between that is the heaven and hell, where he goes to heaven, kills God, kills all the angels, and I don't remember what else he gets up there. Gets the heavenly blade. That's pretty nice. He already went to heaven earlier on and got the fruit of power. Or the fruit of divine power. That's what it's actually called, officially named, the divine fruit. Which, if you haven't watched the other videos, and if you're still here for some reason, it gives him infinite power, or you multiply your power by 2 every single year of your life is gone, and that can infinitely stack. But the thing is that Luke's immortal because he ate. Well, okay, hold on. I'm getting a bit mixed up here. He kills a robot guy, and that guy has the power to infinitely multiply his damage. Or now, because Luke stole his power, he can now infinitely multiply his own power by 2 every single year of his life he takes off of his own life. Then he gets to the fruit of the divine that makes him immortal. That was the mix up there. My bad. So he basically has infinite power inside of the manga, but I like to keep things interesting, and I'm not going to turn him into One Punch Man. And he doesn't really use it that much. Not unless he has to use it. It's pretty much unnecessary, and it's pretty much just a big waste of time and power that I kind of really never thought of the downside of it, but it's fine. It makes the thing interesting, and Luke can never pretty much lose. He's immortal, and he has infinite power. So that's pretty much the most broken things you can ever have, but it's balanced out with him not abusing the power. Well, me not abusing the power, because I'm in control of Luke. Sometimes I like to think of myself as Luke. It's a bit of, I don't know, a lost identity type thing. And then whenever I'm done drawing, or done thinking, and done daydreaming, wherever I am, inside a class, inside the shower, you know, random places that I daydream in because I have a lot of free time. So yeah, that's just kind of a thing. I like to put my perspective into Luke's and like how this would actually work and how he would think, so it can make the plot make more sense on his visual standpoint than a third person view who already knows everything. So yeah, I try and fix that so it's in his perspective than mine. But sometimes I slip up, but whatever, I don't know. The main thing that I am knowing about this, that there's not much dialogue in between these things. So in later chapters, I do make him talk a little bit, but he doesn't really like, it's not like a traveler type of experience. He can hop between dimensions whenever he wants, dude, which makes everything so much easier and so much less of an inconvenience. Also, if you ever wanted to know, I know there's a bit of a jump cut between what I was just talking about. Luke will not be in any romantic person with anyone. There's no romance inside this anime. He's literally just killing people because he kind of, well, he doesn't want to because the parasite took him over. Shit. Okay, another cut up. Luke gets infected by parasites that wants power and will stop nothing to gain more power, and Luke tries to control his power. But then, after he gets back control, there's no going back. Even though he's infinite power, he doesn't have the power to control time. Well, he doesn't find out, because he's kind of dumb, and he doesn't, well, he's kind of like lost. He killed all these people, he did all these things, but he never was conscious about it. He was never really there. He was taken over. He was manipulated over the evil corporation of a fake doctor's office. Which is hilarious how this even began. If I made this an actual normal doctor story and didn't make this evil corrupted shit, I probably wouldn't have to be making this video right now. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, so he's pretty much kind of lost. He has no thoughts, he has no prior memory. By the time he gains conscious, I think I made him gain consciousness back in heaven after he kills God, because that's when he ascends and he reawakens. And then he goes into afterbirth mode. I know it's a lot to process. If you have any more questions after this one, I do not blame you. This is such a complicated manga. Most of these things that I do inside my manga also are just, you know, taken off. I made him fight Goku. I made him fight One Punch Man. I know that all my drawings look absolute shit. I can't draw for anything, dog. But I really don't care about how good the drawings look. It's more if I get to tell a story. So, yeah. Maybe that's why I stopped drawing. Who knows? Anyways, let's go back to the main plot points. So he goes through heaven and hell, he afterbirths, and then he regains his consciousness. And so, and then he goes to the Cosmic War. He goes back into space, and then he starts fighting Galactus. He kills the souls of Terraria. He does that, and then he kills the hearts of Galactus, and then Galactus blows up from the inside out because, of course, his heart exploded. What do you think would happen? Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much what happens inside the Cosmic. Well, that's the first thing. That's how he gets introduced. And then he goes on the spaceship, kills a bunch of robots on the spaceship. He goes up, he fights some Dark Lord guy, totally not Darth Vader. Anyways, he kills him. He now has the power of the Force and a lightsaber. Yes, Luke does get a lightsaber. Nomura-sama is not the only weapon he needs. He needs a lightsaber. Anyways, he gets a lightsaber, and then he blows up the ship, well, actually, he doesn't even blow up the ship. He takes the core that is a black hole, and he consumes it, of course, like the absolute fucking boss that he is. And then the ship blows up on itself because the fuel is gone. And then he gets, there's a bunch of backup from the ship because it got lost off the radar. He kills a few other ships, consumes a few other black holes, fights another Dark Lord. He doesn't get another lightsaber, but he does get a really cool robe, that he gets and like wears for a tiny bit until it gets disintegrated, sadly. So yeah, that happens, and then there's the god of the cosmos, the god of the stars, and then there's the Dark Matter King, the Matter King, the Hand of the Cosmos, and then the Eye of the Galaxy, and then he goes, and that's pretty much it. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I had here inside the script for now. Anyway, so then the Cosmic War ends, and then there's a big jump cut, and then he goes to the, what was it again? I swear I had it in here somewhere. Did I really have that much script? Okay. Oh, Time and Chaos. Yeah. I remember that one. He breaks into the clock tower of time, then he breaks it, and then some Guardians of Time chase after him. He does the cool Deadpool thing at the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I think I was gonna add the music to it too. Make it way too over-sexualized. Oh god. What cringe was I cooking up, bro? God. Anyways, yeah, he did that, and then he kills the god of chaos, he kills the god of craziness, he kills the god of insanity. And that's about it. That's pretty much how simple I put in some of my Google Word documents. And then he goes to the Tree of the Gods. And the thing about this, I kind of base it off a Celeste map, like a trial chamber kind of, where he climbs a tree. Okay, so he gets jumped by two gods, and they knock him out, steal his powers, and then every single layer of the tree he completes, he gets a power back. But then the tree gets more complicated, and he has to use one of those new powers he gets, and then it stacks, he gets a new power, he has to figure out a complex room, he gets another power along with his other ones, and then he has to keep on climbing up the tree until he gets back all his powers, and then he's mastered them all, and then kills the gods at the top of the tree. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happens inside that. What else? Okay, so he does the Tree of the Gods, then he does the Tree of the Prestige. No, what? The Tree? No. The Trials of... Yeah, no. I am right. I am so right. The Tree of the Prestige. It pretty much is just another one, but there's a big jump cut between the Tree of the Gods and the Tree of the Prestige. He kills, he goes back to heaven, actually. And then there's some other angels and some demigods that he kills, and he has to go to the afterbirth place, and then he has to go kill some other guys. He has to climb another tree, and then that's about it. And then I don't know, about 2 billion years go by, and the Trials of the Exile happens. This is pretty much like the last plot point that I have. It's a 2000 room. It's inspired by the How to Platformer. I was gonna call it the How to Be a God, but then I'm just like, that's kind of corny. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all that happens there. Yeah, he goes through 2000 rooms of this absolute pain and torture, pretty much. So yeah, that's about what happens in major plot points. So yeah, that's pretty much all that happened as main plot points. So let's head on to characters. Let's talk about more. Who is Luke? So Luke is he starts off as a 19 or 21-year-old man. He grew up in the state of Ohio with his family, and he was looking for jobs. He graduated from medical school about a year ago and was looking for a job. He just got fired off his part-time job as he worked at Subway, bro. Even though he had a medical degree, which is pretty crazy, but job standards these days. Because this is,
haven't you? I enjoyed watching you all arrive in agony from your seats, complaining.
anyways, my bad about that. Yeah, that was, pretty much what Luke is at the beginning. So yeah, he goes and looks for a job, and, he finds this really good job, or supposedly, it's like, a doctor job inside of Japan. So he takes a flight to Japan. By the way, it pays like $50,000 a day, which is unheard of, actually, ever. And it's, too good to be true. And he learns that out the hard way. Anyways, he flies over there. He talks to the guy. He gets ID checked and everything. He gets taken up by a taxi, like I said in the first video. So, yeah. That's pretty much all that happens there. And then, you know, he goes over, gets ID checked, and then he gets brought to the room, and then he gets bitten by a parasite, bro. Actually, bro. There's no false information about that. He gets bitten by a parasite, falls into a 2-week coma, wakes up, falls through the floor, and wakes up on a platform, and it's, you know, stories from there, pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty much how it starts. And I'm not telling you how it ends yet. That's at the end of the video. So, yeah. And then by now, he's like 24. As of chapter 12. So only 3 years have gone by. Yeah. The aging is kind of weird. But later on, once he starts like hopping dimensions and stuff, that's like the cosmic war and all that, he turns billions of years old because he's immortal. So yeah, anyways, that's what happens to pretty much him as of so far. Now let's get into the other characters. Who is Purple Guy? And or who is Sam? So you know the guy who drove his taxi to the doctors? That was him. That was Sam. The assistant of Boss Guy. Boss Guy, he doesn't turn into an actual main character or anything. Actually, he dies when Luke cuts the world, actually not even the world, the whole entire solar system in half. So yeah. But Sam gets his own parasites. As the assistant, he was the last chosen. And the last parasite that wasn't already chosen was the one that can stop time. But of course no one knew that. This isn't like a devil fruit where they have a book where they can read off of or just give any visual cues. What do you think a purple parasite could do? It could turn people into grapes. And there's a lot of things that are purple, you know? So, yeah. Like, what if you saw a black parasite though? You wouldn't be skeptical too much about it, because like, what things are black that a parasite could carry? Black paint or some shit. But that's, any color can have the power of paint if you really think of that. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways, yeah, he gets the purple parasite, which can freeze time, and he can make clones of himself, and all this. And I guess he can resummon himself, because he can go back in time before he died, and then go forward in time. I said he had time control, not just going back in time. Complete time control. So, yeah. that's a pretty cool broken power, not gonna lie. So he can pretty much come back whenever he wants to. But I mostly make it where it would kind of make sense for him to try and come back. Like if, like when Luke combined the volcano and the icy mountain together, you know, blue and red make purple, you know, simple colors. Yeah, he gets resummoned and is a main antagonist, and later on he turns blue, which is just kind of a power up, really. I don't like how Luke has all those powers. It just really just retextured Luke's. It's kind of like a Super Saiyan, I guess you could say. Just different colored body, different colored hair. Luke does have hair, by the way. So, oh no. I kind of like, because Luke's already black, so pretty much changing his body color is kind of funny to do. I could probably word that better, but I don't mean that in any harmful way. Anyways, so yeah, I pretty much just retextured him, and like I just call that power up. Just like, yeah, okay, it's a different color. He's 10 trillion times stronger now. I don't like to make things harder for me, really, in that sort of sense. I don't like to think of big numbers that hard. But big letters, and a big amount of letters, I can figure that out. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much how the power scaling works. If you try and power scale Luke against any other character in the future, he has infinite power. There's nothing you can do, actually. Well, it depends on what chapter you're basing them off of, but whatever. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. Anyways, so yeah, purple guy, he kind of gets left behind later on. I don't think he even shows up inside of God Valley. But he does later, after that. But Kudra, he's cool. You wanna know something? You wanna know what Cthulhu's based off of? Yeah, mythos. This is what I based him off of. The Cthulhu mythos. The squid monster. This is Kudra, if fully detailed. I just straight took it off of Cthulhu mythos. I don't know if this HP Lovecraft guy can copyright me for that. I think he's dead. Anyways, I'm not gonna make fun of dead people. I don't know. Anyways, sorry about that. So yeah, Cthulhu mythos, or I like to call him Kudra for shorts, with a K, not a C, because yeah, I don't even think that's how you actually pronounce Kudra with a K. But I really could care less. He's really cool. He's a squid deity, which is crazy thing is that Luke couldn't remember when he summons the portal to Kudra. He didn't know he was gonna do that. It just random shots. He could have summoned any deity, but he summons in the squid deity. Kudra's still powerful, you know, he can summon out lasers out of his mouth, which is pretty much all he can do. I really didn't make him that powerful. He's kind of like a floating skull. That's what I kind of drew him as. It's a floating skull. I didn't really make him a full body. But, I guess it wasn't even really Cthulhu mythos. He really just is a really bad copy. Anyways, he's really cool. He's probably my favorite antagonist. I like to draw him. Nothing that crazy. It's just pretty much a skeleton skull, but it's square. And detached with like horns on the top, and that's about it. Which is really easy and nice to draw, and I don't have to put much detail into it. Which, as you see later on, I do put a little bit more detail into it, but early on, actually, I meant. I didn't really put that much detail into my drawings. Really, if at all, ever. But, yeah, I don't know. He's a really interesting character. He's been a deity for a while. This is not the first person he's been trying to kill and or has killed. No, actually, he never kills Luke. He dies permanently. He does reoccur a lot. But he's a deity. He kind of like, oh, Luke is having such a cool time over here. Time to actually fuck him up. Especially inside of God Valley. He shows up quite a lot and stuff. A lot more than Purple Guy, and he doesn't have to get summoned, really. I kind of just make him show up whenever Luke's having a really nice, easy go, good time, you know? I'm just like, nah, this is too peaceful. I gotta ruin his day, bro. I kind of treat Luke as like a doll. He's a person to me. He's alive, and I like to mess with him. It's funny. Really having your own story and be able to do anything you want with it is really open and really free to let any thoughts go inside your head and then cut it down on paper. That's what I've been doing. With that daydreaming inside of class and stuff, that's just a bunch of thoughts going through my head. So yeah, that's kind of what most of my manga is. So yeah. Kutra, probably the best antagonist. But probably the best looking one is Mega Satan from Hell. That saga is gonna be so fucking cool. But I think the best one is gonna be the Trial of the Exile, which is gonna be the longest and more detailed ones. But I want all of it to look good overall, but no guaranteed. Also, Kudra does get a human form, or a human form later on, when he turns into Kudra Prime, which is cool. What else do I have to talk about? I think that's pretty much it. I thought this video was going to be a lot longer. I guess I explained it kind of fast. I don't want to spoil everything, really. It's kind of just a glance over of everything that I know I'm going to have to get done sometime. And I have all the scripts and I have everything done for it, so I just haven't drawn it, really. And or I don't have any connecting pieces to really completely start making the rest of this series. And I don't want to leave myself up on a hanger and it's like, I can't bring anything more because I don't have anything left. So you guys will have to wait for quite a while. And like I said earlier, if you want your own characters inside my manga, please comment or send a community post of your OC and give me an explanation of what you want them to do inside my story. And at me, and I will respond and I'll add it to my scripts. No problem. Make it as complex as you want. I have a lot of spare parts I need to get finished. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Okay. So, if you don't want to know the end of my manga, please click off the video. I'm giving you like a minute to click off this video. Stop what you're doing. Just get out of here, please. If you don't want to know. If you're doing something right now, I'll wait. Okay, are you done doing whatever you need to do? Okay, great. Even though I'm gonna say it really slowly. So, the end of my manga, Luke will die, and and I'll tell you how he does it. So you know how Luke is immortal and also has infinite power? So he charges up the Murasama. Okay, let me explain something. The Murasama is made of red antimatter, which can cut through atoms. And atoms aren't really replaceable. They're the singular cell organism that can't be replaced at all and cannot be the same, pretty much. Or at least that's how it is inside my manga. So I don't know if that's actually how it works inside of real life. I'm completely guessing at this point. So Luke stabs himself with the Murasama and kills himself. He remakes the whole entire everything. He has infinite power, so he can create whatever he wants, and he recreates everything that he destroyed, but he doesn't reset it to modern day where he was. He resets it to a pirate era, and that will link to the sequel of it. Anyways, he's on a rock in the middle of the Red Sea, or supposedly, and he throws the Murasama into the air, and it lands right through his body and sticks into the stone. His dead body completely cut in half, and then years to come, his dead body will be deceased, and all there will be left is the sword inside the stone. So yeah, that's pretty much how it ends. Luke kills himself because there's no other way he can die. Because the Murasama is the strongest sword inside of his whole entire everything. The strongest sword that is made canonically inside my manga throughout all the multiverses that he's gone through, pretty much. So yeah, that's how it ends. If that's surprising and or a lot more anticlimactic as you thought, I'm sorry, but also you're still watching, and I let you have a minute to click off. So yeah, that's how it ends. I know, so sad, so sad, but it has to end sometime. Anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. If you have any more questions and or just, if you want your character added to my manga, do what I said earlier. And bye.